Yeah, and unfortunately, President Trump is out this morning with a pretty crude, pretty crass post about Reiner, suggesting that maybe somehow he died because of his hatred for all things Trump. Hopefully, that's not going to get too much attention today, as it really muddies and pollutes the discourse. We're talking, unfortunately, about a Hollywood murder mystery, right? We have police on the scene investigating what is an apparent homicide. Unless somehow there was some accident at the home, and there's no indication this was an accident. We're talking about a situation where someone seemed to want Rob and Michelle Reiner dead. And there's a lot of questions I'm sure the authorities are trying to answer and will then answer in the public in due course.
Well. Brian Stelter and the rest of the CNN and the other corporate media networks are right back at it again. This comes after the news broke this weekend where Rob Reiner and his wife were murdered in their homes. Their son has been arrested for this crime, is being held on a $4 million bail. And this is after apparently years of struggling with drug addiction. However, Donald Trump did what Donald Trump always does. He just wears his emotions on his sleeves, and he made a post. And of course, the left, immediately he does anything, they all have to oppose it and be absolutely against what he said. And just like Brian Stelter did, not give a full, honest accounting of what did and didn't happen. So here is Donald Trump's post. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable afflictions with his mind-crippling disease known as the Trump derangement syndrome. And now, this is Trump being Trump. And this, I want to point out the difference between our side and the left side. Because when we have lost people on our side, the left has danced on their graves, and the left has praised it, from Charlie Kirk to the many others, a video, laughing and cheering it on. Okay, this is a huge difference from our side to their side. On their side, they use rhetoric for years to try to dehumanize us, calling us Nazis, racists, bigots, homophobes, transphobes, white nationalists. All these attempts were to try to dehumanize us, not because they believed we were Nazis or fascists, but by dehumanizing us, they justified violence against us. See, that is a very big difference between the left side and the right side. All Trump uses here is speaking facts. And more than one thing can be true at the same time. What happened to Rob Reiner was horrific, and we do not wish that on anybody. And you read the posts on the right over and over again are praying for him, wishing his family well. Yeah, that's the right side. But over on the left side, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, you saw video after video of them laughing and cheering and getting excited. And then when his poor wife, Erica Kirk, she now has to raise two young children by herself, the left tried to create an unwinnable situation for her. See, if she's crying, then she's fake crying. If she's not crying, then why isn't she crying? That is the left in the nutshell. And that's the difference between their side and our side. See, everything Trump said here is right. Now, you may agree or disagree with the timing of this, but Rob Reiner spent years hating Donald Trump and hating the right and wishing absolute harm to us. As another example from Rob Reiner, this is the day after Rush Limbaugh died. And this is after Rush Limbaugh died, the Hollywood filmmaker Rob Reiner attacked the late conservative radio host as a purveyor of disinformation, so that Americans must protect the democracy from people like him. Rob Reiner launched his social media attack on late night Limbaugh, calling him a liar, warning that other conservative media personalities are trying to deny climate change. To protect our democracy, we must remain vigilant in calling them the big lies, starting with climate change, he wrote. So, of course, just like to the left with their rules, first the rules for the right is that we have to be silenced, right? And it's okay to call us all these derogatory names. But the minute you do it, all of a sudden the goalpost moves. All of a sudden, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. And how can you say something so mean? The two-tier justice system, folks, wrapped up in one shell. I think most on our side that are some of them is not what Trump said, it's when he said it. Now, Trump is going to be Trump. And would I say that the day after? No, I don't think that I would. And maybe he shouldn't have said that. I don't know. But Trump is Trump, and Trump is also right. I mean, understand that Rob Reiner for years demanded that Donald Trump be put in prison when Donald Trump had done nothing wrong. He, just like everybody else, knew that Donald Trump was innocent and that Russia was made up. And even after it was proven to be made up and all that came out with Arctic frost and everything else that happened with this investigation, Russia, that even to this day, the Democrats are still pushing the Russia hoax to this very same day. It was Rob Reiner who demanded that Donald Trump spend the rest of his life in prison for this hoax. You know, enough is enough. I understand why Trump feels this way. And Trump correctly says it differently, is he didn't celebrate Rob Reiner's death. He called it tragic. And he didn't wish his family harm. See, we're not like the left. But more than one thing can be true at the very same time. We can wish that what happened to Rob Reiner would never happen to anybody, because we don't want people to die. But at the same time, Rob Reiner can be a big piece of crap his entire life and be this elitist liberal bubble that he lived in and hate everybody who was not like him. And Trump can be right to call that out as well. See, this is part of what made Trump so popular and so famous with more and more people, as he's actually gotten more popular, not less popular. It's because he talks from his sleeve. He lets you know who he is, and he doesn't worry about being politically correct. He doesn't worry so much about saying the right thing at the right time, or these fake empty words like the left does. Right, when they call us Nazis and racists and bigots and homophobes and transphobes and white nationalists and do all these things to incite violence, right, to try to dehumanize you, to justify violence against you. Say things like, words are violence. And then after something horrific and tragic happens, all the left, they write their empty little fake virtue signaling words, say, oh, well, you know, I abhor violence, and no one should have to suffer under violence. And they write their one little post, and then the left see, we are against violence. I mean, look at that post right there after the fact, ignoring the years that they spent dehumanizing people up until that point. The Democrats know exactly what they're doing. They don't care about right. The Democrats do not care about wrong. The only thing the Democrats care about is power. And they will say and do anything to reach and achieve that power that they so desperately crave. They will call you anything. They don't care if it's true. They don't care if it's right. They just want to silence you by slandering you. And then they use a tragedy like today to, again, politically attack Donald Trump. The reality is there is no unity with people who don't want unity. The left is fighting to win. And unfortunately, too many on the right are fighting to lose. Or more correctly, they're not wanting to fight because they'd rather lose than fight the battle. This on the right, as a conservative, this is what we're up against. We're up against people that lie about being an even playing field, that lie about having unity, but really what they want is just absolute power. Never doubt that for a single second. Once you understand the left, once you understand that they don't care about you, they don't care about your family, they don't care about your well-being, they don't care about your health or your happiness, all they care about is power. And when they say unity, you better agree with the way that they say, or they will try to slander you in submission. And if that doesn't happen, the violence is next. That's the Democrat Party in a nutshell. Weak men and miserable women. No wonder why their party is collapsing and the Republican Party is growing. And then on our side, if we would just fight, we would win. If we had more people like Donald Trump, who was willing to say what needed to be said, what happened to Rob Reiner is tragic and horrible. It should never happen to anybody. But also, he spent his life being a leftist elite piece of crap who wanted innocent people thrown in prison, like Donald Trump, all because they disagree with the way he thought. With that, let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this video, watching this long, you haven't, take a minute to subscribe. And if not, I appreciate you for watching for this long. Also, I'll take a moment to thank you for subscribers as they make this show possible, as they'll all be listed at the end of this video.